Hey, hi, so thanks for joining again. So my name's Melissa, to our education, and today I've got Anna with me, who is currently working with I Tutor Group. She's just coming up to at the end of her second week with I Tutor Group. So Anna, what made you want to apply to teach online?
I was really excited about the idea of a flexible schedule that I could work around other different things going on and being able to work from home. I spent 3 years in a regular commute to work job, and I was excited about the idea of working from home.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so tell me a little bit then, because obviously we have to go through the interview process with I Tutor Group. So tell me a little bit about how you prepared for sort of the demo lesson that you had to do.
The demo lesson was kind of included in the automated interview that I did. They just asked a few different questions, like they would give you a little scenario and say, how would you respond in this situation?
Mm-hmm.
For instance, I think one of them was that you're teaching and you have 2 students in the class, and one of them is just really hyper about answering all the questions, won't give the other one a turn to talk. How are you going to deal with that? And you're supposed to act out how you would deal with that. So I drew a little bit on some previous classroom experience I had from my university training,
Mm-hmm.
and was able to come up with a scenario that apparently pleased them. So.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, so before you went into the interview, did they provide you with any documents? Did they give you any sort of guidance beforehand?
No, I used the automated option. When you do the interview with I Tutor Group, you can either do an automated interview, or you can schedule a live person-to-person interview. I chose the automated option, and they have a little video of an I Tutor Group rep talking about this is the scenario, and then they'll give you a few minutes to think about how you would respond, and then you record yourself responding.
Oh, great. Okay, so you do get a little bit of thinking time
Yes.
before you respond. Oh, that's great news. Okay, and so did you have anybody asking you any other questions, or was it just how you'd respond in sort of classroom settings?
It was classroom settings. They would have like a brief self-introduction. They also asked some other different questions. I think it was because they wanted to hear how my accent as well, because they do like to hire people with a little more neutral accent. They also asked some English proficiency questions. I just took a short little quiz. I think there were like 5 questions. So.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, they were fairly easy questions. So.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so obviously, like we say, you're on coming up to the end of your second week with I Tutor Group. So how are you finding the lessons?
They are challenging. For me personally, I hadn't taught English as a second language before I started working for I Tutor Group. So it's been challenging for me to try to think of how to present the material to people that this is not their first language. But the lesson material itself, not difficult. It's just the presenting it to someone who's this is their second language.
Okay, then, all right. So just to wrap up then, thinking about people that are looking to get into online teaching, what top tips would you like to share with them? Maybe a couple of top tips.
The one that comes to mind right off is to be very prepared for a super flexible schedule. I wanted to do flexible schedule. Sometimes it can almost be a little bit too flexible because they schedule lessons 24 hours in advance, but it's not confirmed until 1 hour before the class is supposed to start.
I see.
So I get up really early in the morning to teach. I don't always know that I have students until I roll out of bed in the morning.
Okay.
So that can be a little bit stressful to try to be planning lessons at 4 o'clock in the morning. So
okay. So flexibility is definitely one of the keys to this.
Yes.
Oh, brilliant. Okay. And anything else that you'd sort of advise anybody?
as for I Tutor Group specifically, I would say that they have some very strict policies as far as, for instance, attendance goes, which, I mean, it goes without saying, if you're committed to teach at a certain time, you've got to be there.
Yeah.
They are a little bit strict if you have technical difficulties and you can't log in. They do have a very, very helpful IT desk. I know that because I've already had to use it. But they do get back to you very quickly. But if you can't log in like 3 minutes before class starts, they will bump you off that session, and you get another tutor will be reassigned to your session.
Yeah.
So just always to make sure you're on there on time.
Yeah.
So,
oh, brilliant. Yeah. So making sure you're punctual, you've no technical issues where possible. Fantastic. Okay. Well, thank you very much for all your advice there today. That's been really useful, and I'm sure it will really help other people moving forward. So thanks very much, Anna, and thanks for today. Okay. Bye bye.
Bye bye.